Mirëmëngjes, të dashur koleg, partner, miq. Good morning, dear colleagues, partners and friends. Me mirëkuptimin tuaj unë do të flas anglisht për të nderuar pjesëmarrësit nga rajoni dhe Bashkimi Evropian. With your understanding, I will speak in English to honor our visitors and guests from the region and European Union. Dear partners from the region and European Union, President Robke, dear heads of ETF and Eurobond, Deputy Minister Ambassador Gonzato, dear friends, welcome to Albania and Tirana. It's a good time to be here, not only weather-wise. We extend you our hospitality and we are deeply grateful for this great presence from the region, including ministers, as well as from the European Union. This is a place where ties between Albania, the region, and European Union are being strengthened. And this is a clear testimony of region's perspective to joining European family and European Union's institutions' genuine interest to let us in, to get us in, to prepare us to come in. Well, rightly so, when it comes to social dialogue and labor market, we are closer than in other areas. I am particularly referring to our excellent cooperation with the European Social Economic Council, led by President Robke. As you rightly know, Albania and some countries from the Western Balkans, most of them I would say, have already created a bridge of cooperation with European Social Economic Council. We are already participating in a novel pilot initiative in European Union social dialogue, as well as we have already built the bridge between our social partners with European Union social partners by creating the Joint Consultative Committee between Albania and European Union, the first inaugural meeting of which will take place tomorrow. Equally, we value very much the support and collaboration of Eurofund and ETF. We understand these are great knowledge and training opportunities, while Albania and the Western Balkans is preparing to enter the social and economic framework of the European Union. Of course, we're doing it acceleratedly and as we speak, not just in one day when we become full members. Albania in itself is progressing steadily in the path to membership. Same can be said about countries from the Western Balkans. When each of us and all of us progress in the EU family aspiration, this means that the perspective of membership for the whole region is lively and real. And let us all work on that perspective as of today and the near future. And this is a testimony of that active work in that direction. Well, becoming a member comes with a lot of opportunities and challenges. Same time, the road to membership is in itself a substantial positive change. Countries joining the Union before us, the last 10 countries, have demonstrated substantive, positive social and economic change, which is basically made tangible through the living standards and the living conditions and the work conditions and work opportunities for citizens and workforce abroad. This is our objective as well. We want this path to be one of benefits for our citizens, for our workforce, but I would like to also stress that there are a lot of benefits for European Union member states by us being in the family. Well, the secret lies into anticipating and managing such change in a positive way. Because alongside with opportunities, there are challenges. We are all aware of our demographic challenges. Well, those in the region or in the Union abroad, right? And I'm not here referring only to aging. Of course, I'm here referring also to mobility. Is that a challenge? No, I believe that's an opportunity. But in some cases, it may become a challenge to certain sectors and competitive forces when it comes to employment and economy. So we should work in the direction of building these joint opportunities. On the other side, there are technological challenges, but those are opportunities at the same time. The Western Balkan region and Albania are broadly young. We have a young workforce, a young population, of course in spirit, but also in merit and in practice. It means that we are eager to embrace technological changes faster. In that sense, we may represent a good contribution to the European Union workforce when it comes to digital economy. This is a direction I believe we should jointly work. On the other side, the Western Balkans and Albania and the Union do have a convergent challenge. While we rightly live in a lower living standard situation than that of European Union advanced states or Eastern European Union states. That's why there are tools and initiatives to address that, like the growth plan. The Union is opening the opportunities to its EU single market before we become a full member, so that we could use the exposure to almost 500 million consumer base of the European Union for our products and services. And of course, for increasing the knowledge of our workforce. But how are we embracing all these challenges and opportunities? Well, I think that we're embracing them through a partnering model. Clearly so, the growth plan is a partnering model of the European Union with the Western Balkans and the integration of two markets, our national and regional market with the European Union single market. Rightly so, this will bring opportunities for the workforce as well as opportunities for value chaining, which means increasing knowledge of our entrepreneurs and workforce at the same time. On the other side, there are several European Union programs which are implemented in our countries, and we express our thanks to European Union and, in case of Albania, also European Union delegation in Albania, for basically prioritizing areas like social dialogue as well as employment and particularly youth, with some very good programs like the Youth Guarantee or EU for Social, EU for Youth. These are basically programs with some very tangible results when it comes to upskilling our workforce abroad, particularly our young generation, and integrating them better in our labor markets and that of the European Union. Another direction of our work goes to an outreach model. Well, rightly so, Albania is working to improve its outreach model and social dialogue as we progress to membership. As I said, we are already bridging our social partners here with us today as well. Thank you very much for being with us, with social partners from the European Union through the collaboration with the European Social Economic Council. At the other hand, we are also looking for a better model for interest group and civil society organization and representation. We are attentively looking at the European Socio-Economic Council model of constituency, as well as those of member states, in particular one member state with a long experience, century-long experience of social dialogue. We do have a minister for youth. Albania has a very active minister for youth, same as a very active vice minister and team working for Youth Guarantee. And these are some concrete initiatives to enhancing our outreach model. As we say in Albania, Europa është këtu. Europe is here. I wish you a fruitful discussion and thank you very much for being in Tirana. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Minister. You're right in saying that being a member of the EU comes with opportunities and challenges. You're absolutely right. And you also said that, some of the opportunities are the large markets, but also people having access to a big talent pool and social dialogue, of course. There are challenges, as you mentioned, like, the conferences will be, but, this is what happens in a big family. You try to make sure that, this convergence happens sooner than later. And the countries who joined the EU recently in the last wave know a lot about this, and they can share. We have some people from these countries here today. And the president of EEC actually knows quite well. He has experienced what happened in the last wave of enlargement, and other members of the EEC here who are here with us today will be able to share this experience with us. So perhaps then I would give the floor straight to the President so that we can please share this experience with all of us. Thank you.